Fill our hearts with wrath! Fire up our loins! Accept our sacrifice!
Guys, something incredible happened. Recently, this channel surpassed the magical number of 100 subscribers. So, I would like to take this moment and thank each and every one of you. I think this may be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Whatever will become of this channel, all of you, my friends, will always have access to a special part of my heart, because you, and only you, are the reason for this channel to continue, and for me to find a pleasure in doing it. So thank you all, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Before we take a look at today's deck, I think you all deserve at least a few words about the future of this channel. First of all, yeah, jokes aside, I'm quite aware my sound and video quality is nowhere near perfect. So I would really like to get a new mic, maybe get a camera so that you can finally see my handsome curves, and upgrade the overall quality of my videos. So I sincerely hope that in the near future you might expect some of those improvements. Also, so far I've been doing Gwent only related videos. It may be the case that I will try something different as well. Not 100% sure what and when, but when that happens, you will be the first ones to know. I'm not actually sure if anyone at all would be interested in anything other than Gwent, probably not. But don't worry, even if I'll be doing something different from time to time, I'll never turn my back on Gwent, and I'll always be posting new Gwent videos, so really nothing to be concerned about. So please, if any one of you, my friends, have anything at all to say about these things, like for example something you would like to see, some ways I could and I should upgrade the channel, please don't hesitate to tell me in the comments. I would be really grateful for any feedback. For now, let's take a look at today's deck. I hope you like turtles. Now please hear me out before you actually decide if this deck is worthy of your attention. I know, it's a half meme deck, and if your opponent has some high removal combos with Banish or 0rfeus's Invocation, you are pretty much screwed. Hey, what a way to introduce a new deck. But on the other hand, I climbed to pro rank with it, so it's not that useless as some of you may think. This deck is something different, okay? It's something for all those players who would like to try something new while maintaining their integrity as Gwent players who does not always need to play only the most OP decks with highest win rate. Because you see, this deck will never be meta, it will not ever be an anti-meta as well. It kinda drifts along on its own while being super strong against point greedy decks, and also being somewhat weak against versatile decks with high tempo removal. And yeah, there is a lot of those lately, I know. But 60% win rate in pro rank is not something you can take lightly, my friends. The cornerstone of this deck is this ridiculously overgrown turtle. This card boosts itself every time it loses armor by the amount of armor lost. So I don't think I need to explain how well this goes with Iris, the late wife of Olgierd von Everec, or with Mardroem, or with Svalblood Priest. But we will get to that. You see, with Secret Rifas right, you can play the turtle 2 times in a game, and although it sounds like a good idea, you have to take good care of your turtle anytime it is on board. If your opponent banishes your turtle with Koratti, it is pretty much a game over, I'm afraid. If he takes it with 0rfeus's Invocation, you might wanna reconsider your future in the game. But if he's unable to answer it correctly, you are in for an easy win. So take care, especially against Nilfgaards, and take care and try to identify a Koratti in your opponent's deck before he actually plays it. There's also a defender in this deck that might lure Koratti out of your opponent's hand and save you the game, but remember, you can revive your turtle only once. Thus, your endgame combo would consist of Draco Turtle, Covenant of Steel, Mantlet and Wagenburg. Both of these cards can boost your turtle sky high, especially if you saved Iris for a finisher. And Irden, obviously, turning the game around if it's necessary. You actually do not need a Svalblod Priest that much in the decisive round. It's a plus, but if you have Iris, you're gonna get that bonus anyway, even though Svalblod can yield 1 more point per turn in the end. This deck also does have Gedinate, and it's more of an utility than a finisher. If you can play Gedinate with one of your Draco Turtles, it's nice, because you'll get that another Mardroem, but in this particular deck, Gedinate is more useful as a tool to bleed your opponent a little, or prevent your opponent from bleeding you. I've played Gedinate on all rounds with this deck already, and it's somehow always very useful. Unless it gets destroyed right away, of course. But it's actually another way to lure your opponent's Korathi out, even if a bit costly. Now let's talk briefly about other card additions I deem worth mentioning. There is Axel, the Beverly Hills Cop, and he's worth playing almost exclusively with Gedinate, so that he can boost himself with crows to something at least. He's usually worth a lot more on short rounds than long ones. And I would say Vagans are kinda standing out of an ordinary deck these days as well, but in this particular deck they are actually one of those 4 provision cost cards that can yield 10 points if played in tandem with Draco Turtle and Iris, so you can't always proc those, but when you do, it's worth it. And that should be the motto of this deck. Before we march into the battle, I think it would be inspiring if we would stop and listen for a while to beautiful sounds of a turtle. Thank you. This was a common snapping turtle from the modern day United States East Coast, so imagine this like 1,000 times more powerful, and you might get a hint of what we are getting into. So who is gonna feel my turtle? Overwhelming hunger monsters, so that means Miruna, Imperial Manticore, maybe Vercat, maybe Haunt Scenario. This is kinda nice. No Oneiromancy though, but Gedinate. That maybe is a little too good. Actually, I don't think I will need a Cursed Scroll here. Is he gonna play like Korathi? Nah, I don't think so. He's gonna play some Frost, maybe, but not Korathi. Yeah. Let's go Gedinate first round then.
Reach beyond what the eyes see and the ears hear.
He doesn't like the look of it, but Now we can turn this around, definitely.
Gods protect us.
That's interesting.
Life and death, and twilight.
Yeah, I have to use it on Axel. That's unfortunate, but we are 20 points ahead. I think he's gonna pass now, or is he like going to play a scenario of his? I think he may be going like Haunt. Depends if his deck is like more frosty, or... Okay, so one Ighern is gonna be just enough. So, I think I'm gonna pass still. He's going Irden.
Any last words?
That's interesting. I'm kinda glad that's out of the way, because now our victory may be a little easier to achieve. I would really like to have that Oneiromancy though. That's not Oneiromancy. He's passing right away. Alright. With Draco Turtle, actually Wagon may be a little more useful, like I explained earlier. What the hell, man? Well, so no defender. That's kinda... If he's playing like Erden, I don't think he's going on Neuromancy as well. He already played a good portion of his reactive cards like Parasite, Imlarit's Wrath, even Imperial Manticore, which is even more dangerous to this deck than Miruna, I would say, definitely. Ighern. Well, not enough to reach his destroy self command with my stunning blows, so Night Wraith. I wonder if he's like playing Haunt the scenario. Is he?
What do you need?
Okay. If he's going karate, he's gonna go karate now. But he didn't. That's really good to know. With Iris, I think I'm gonna use the Spellbolt Priest here. That's 1 point short, obviously, from what he could achieve with Draco Turtle, but we are going to get that points anyway. With Iris. Operator, what's he playing? Is he gonna go for like Glusty Warp? Huh. Really not sure.
children Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
It seems like Glustiwork to me, a little. I think I'm gonna just... Should I go for Ighern here? And then destroy it with like Giga Scorpion Decoction? I guess so. I don't want to destroy Endrega X or anything else, because Glustiwork obviously boosts itself for every one power point unit on board. Oh, that's a full board. But I have Erden for Glustiwork, and I'm gonna finish, so that's not gonna scare me as much. This is gonna be one hell of a turtle here. Should I destroy Ighern? Yeah, I guess so. "14 armor on Draco Turtle now. Wait a minute, I lost the first round. Well, so that Glustiwork might be a little harder to deal with. Alright. 101 points. And he's passing. So, we've got this. See? Even turtles sometimes win. Sometimes. Not always. Yeah, that's true. But sometimes they win. And when they win, well, the victory tastes like the sweetest turtle soup. Actually, have you ever had a turtle soup? I can't recall having one, but I definitely heard about it in movies and such. Anyways, now we are playing Congregation Syndicate. That's kinda nice. This deck is supposedly really strong. So, let's see what our turtles think about that. Finally, Oneiromancy in hand, we are good and prepared for the battle. Alright. Sigurdrifa. You know, the woman that really likes Modron Freya. So now we can, I think, safely... He's not playing Philippa Eilhart, and he's not playing Karate either, so I think we can safely play double Draco Turtle. But yeah... He did spend one charge though, that's interesting. Yeah, let's go with Draco Turtle. He's going Ulrich on the first round. And probably Fallen Knight. Yes, here he comes. It may be hard not getting into a card disadvantage in this kind of matchup, I would say.
Accept our sacrifice!
Another Fallen Knight, so he's playing the combo in the first round. It's kinda interesting, 2 charges out.
Protect us.
Bow before mortal prayer.
And Sacred Flame as well. Yeah, we might get into the second round on equal terms in terms of cards. You know, let's play one more. He seems to be overcommitting a little, so let's leave it at that. Alright. I hope he's passing though, but I don't think that will happen. He's deciding. Ferko, the sculptor, of course.
Never a problem for it.
With the congregation, of course.
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
So yeah, I have to get out of this round. 8 cards each in the second round. It may not be the best, but really, he did spend 2 charges. He played 11 point Ulrich, 9 point Sacred Flame, 2 Fallen Knights, those are 6s, and Ferko the Sculptor, which is an 8. So yeah, seems like overcommitting a little, to me at least. But man, no Iris, no getting 8th. And only 1 druid in our hand. He's going in. Maybe. Just maybe.
Visible mutation, rough skin, vertical pupils, horns.
Well, I guess I'll have to play either Excel or Covenant of Steel, so...
I am no more. There is but us.
Yeah, and like I said, Excel is really good on short rounds. And this is what I had in mind when I was actually talking about it, so... Give me Gedinate or Iris and I'm happy. Thank you. It's kinda nice. Also 1 Druid also would be nice. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, Madroem is a little better than Rhizome, especially when the Excel has already been played. Yeah, let's start with the defender.
I bite you to death.
I don't think he's playing Philippa, definitely not with Congregation. Unless he's really playing like something wild in there. He's certainly taking his time with those turns. And he's playing the defender of his own, Azar Javed.
Soon you shall transform.
He paid the
and
tribute?
receive the gift of life.
Alright then, let's go with Mantlet.
More than a shield, not quite as much as a wall.
I wonder what he's gonna play. Because he, like, I think the main combo with DS Ira as well is kinda out of his reach now, because he played Ulray, he played Sacred Flame, he spent 2 leader charges in the first round, so Roderick the Wet, yeah, obviously.
Yes, I work with Salamanders. For now.
And we are going Get In It now.
Who nicked my mushrooms again?
Yes, those mushrooms! Those are delicious, by the way. Yeah, that's the last of his fallen knights.
Halt! In the Order's name, I confiscate these goods.
Let's go with Draco Turtle now.
What do you need?
And I can only call a Rhizome with Hermione here. Alright. Jacques Grandmaster.
The ideal lies in
I don't really mind, honestly. Although yes, I will destroy him right away. He's gonna play some more of those Fire Sword cards, isn't he? So it's a shame that our Exo is now gone, because we will have 6 crows.
Remove his cowl, then his ears!
I wonder where the DS Ire is. Vivaldi Bank. He's got it transmuted, nice. And he's going for Lieutenant von Hurst. If he also has like High Inquisitor Helmet, he might run into some troubles with overcrowding his rows.
Tear up our loins!
We have 3 Mardoans. That's gonna be one huge turtle.
Not worthy of the fire's purity.
Here comes. I wonder where is he gonna put all those units?
The amulet, you.
Yes,
It'll
you.
save you.
Have you made your
Think again.
offering?
He now has 6 on the melee and it will be 7 shortly on his range throw. Kinda glad I have that Erden.
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
Gods protect us.
Oh wait, Mardroem first. Rhizome second. $11 points ahead, but yeah, his main engines are THICC. Still didn't reveal themselves, like Assault, yeah.
Damn it! Pieces.
Oh, my defender, good lord. That's not how I wanted this to happen. I never wanted this to happen. If Covenant of Steel is gonna get destroyed, I can go like Erden on Covenant of Steel. But even after he destroys it, I don't think he's gonna have something like to deal with Draco Turtle. Covenant of Steel, obviously the defenders doesn't defend your units from like yeah, I totally forgot about the passive ability. Yeah, that's nice. Whenever you play an alchemy card, heal a random allied unit by 1, and of course the Covenant of Steel was the only unit damaged, so it lives for now. We are 12 points ahead. And here comes DS Ire or something. He's gonna destroy it one way or another, yes. Here he comes. I still am gonna wait for Erden a little, I think.
You. Yes, you. Have you made your offering?
That's one huge turtle, isn't it? Oh no, I'm going Erden now actually.
Damn it.
It was worth 18 points on his melee roll. Now we are 28 points ahead. And he already used the S-Era boost. What? Sir, Wheel of Fortune! 2 points Wheel of Fortune on Crow Clan Preacher. Yeah, I'm starting to like this.
We've met.
Obviously, this Iris is kinda... yeah, I'm not even gonna comment it. But we are 34 points ahead. Is it gonna be enough though? It's definitely gonna be enough because his last card is Mutant's Maker.
The anatomical changes slightly exceed my expectations.
So, 2 games, 2 victories. It's not as weak as you supposed it would be. Now, I know that this deck has several downsides and a lot of decks out there can counter it quite easily, but I really wanted to do something different this time. The current meta, unfortunately, I would say does not suit experimenting with new decks. I mean, I've tried several new ones and this one actually yields for me the highest win rate in the end. Because I've won I think 8 out of 13 games in Pro Rank, so it can definitely work. And if you're looking for something different as well, this might just be the deck for you. Just don't expect to go on some crazy winning streaks with it. It is what it is. It's a turtle. Anyways guys, I would like to thank all of you for watching. And I would really like to thank all of you for this support I've received so far, I mean it. So once again, this was 0rfeus, please subscribe if you haven't already, and many thanks to all of you my existing subscribers. We will catch each other on the flip side. Bye bye!